Welcome to Life in Times of Cotto. I am your host, Jay Cotto. And in today's segment, I want to speak about something that I came across the other day that it kind of threw me for a loop, only because it's something that I heard and I believed in when I heard it. And I'm going to try to make this make sense. It goes something along the lines of if you want to go somewhere or if you want to do something, you can't say, well, I don't want to do that to get to where you want to go, because sometimes it takes a little bit of work for you to get there. So saying that you don't want to do something is stopping you from doing the little bit of work that it requires for you to get to where you want to go. Now, I was watching a clip the other day from a podcast that I watch. It's called Nikki and Moose, and it was about Oprah. Now, I know that, people have whatever feelings it is that they have, but the point that I'm making with this is she said something along the lines, which was contradictory to what I just said, was knowing what you don't want to do only leaves space for you to figure out what you actually want to do. I found that to be very interesting. And the reason why I found that to be so interesting is because now I'm in a place in my life where, and I've said this on numerous occasions, I work a job like anyone else. I have an 8-hour 9 to 5 and I work a job and this job is to make a living for myself and for my family. However, I am doing this for someone else. And prior to getting into my role of management, prior to doing all those things, I used to be like that. I used to kind of say, well, I want to be in management, but I don't want to do that. And I had a mentor, a phenomenal woman who believed enough in me to propel me and push me forward. And I used that thought process of, if you want to do something, you can't say that you don't want to do that, because that is ultimately going to stop you from doing what you need to do to get to where you want to go. I'm now in management. But back to what I was saying about working for someone else, I'm starting to realize there are things that I want to do for myself. There are businesses and not necessarily business, but there's a brand that I want to build for myself. And I'm realizing that I don't want to do that. And knowing that I don't want to do that allows me to really figure out and create and learn more of what it is that I want to do. Now, I still have to do that because I have a living that I need to make. So, I'll go broke and I won't be able to do this and buy the equipment that I need to do this. But I know now what I don't want to do. I want to do this and I want to build a brand. And I just found that to be very interesting in the thought, because again, you start to wrestle with these things and you start to realize, and again, I don't know that it's now, but I don't know that it's just me now, or just because I'm doing this, or just because I want to do something a little bit larger than what it is that I'm doing. But you kind of start to test the air. You start to realize the air is changing, the environment is changing. And that's another thing too. Like, you start to realize that what you know or what you thought you knew isn't what it is, right? And I'm saying that because, again, doing what I do and doing the things that I've been doing over the course of the time that I've worked with the company, I'm starting to realize that there's other ways, there's other things, you can do other things. And that's worth your time, that's worth your investment. And when you're doing something that you don't, I don't want to say not believe in, because, yeah, you definitely believe in it. But when you start doing things that you don't necessarily feel like are aligning with you and what you believe to be what it's supposed to be, it becomes unnatural. And this is where I get to that point of those two contradicting things. It's contradicting things. It becomes unnatural to do something that you don't necessarily believe in, or you just want to do something else. And when you get to this place of just, it being unnatural and you saying, well, I want to do something, but I don't want to do that. When you do end up not doing the thing, when you do end up knowing what it is that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go, you start to realize those things, that little bit of work, those little bit of things that you put together isn't actually work, because you enjoy it, because it aligns with what it is that you want to do. And that work is a joy. So that's basically where I'm going with this. Like that, I went with that thought process for so long, and just kind of, I want to do so much, but I don't want to do that. And then you start to realize that some of those things that the little work that you need to put in doesn't align, and again, I'm not trash talking anybody it is that's looking to do larger things in their company. By all means, please do that. Move up in the company if that's what you believe in, but what I'm saying is, make sure it aligns. You need to align yourself with the things that you enjoy, the things that you want to do. Yes, it might be true that, hey, in order for you to do the things that you want to do, sometimes you got to do the things that you don't want to do. But you also got to know what you're not willing to do to be able to do the things that you want to do. As contradictory as that sounds, think about that for a second, because it's a big truth, and it's something that we all need to really pay attention to and dig deep a little bit and put some thought to that. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you for listening. Thank you for lending me your ears. Do what you do it well, do it the best way you know how. Jay Cotto, I am out. Peace.